probably all know there's a race this weekend, right? So we're going to wait on there, Bo?
You can wait on my boss to get back. Hey, good morning. Good morning.
It's a good thing you came out. Bo's getting ready to charge admission.
That's right.
He's going to make a video. It's going to go viral this afternoon on YouTube.
Did you get my email?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see me that? Because Derek told you to put it up there, or did you see it?
Oh, we got some good here.
I didn't see it yesterday, but I asked him if everything back after rehearsal, and he told me he would.
He probably went to most.
Sir?
Steve's on his way.
Yeah,
I think we got an issue with some of those science faculty either teaching or not here. Is there a way we can record this? And we're good. That's not good.
How are you?
I'm appreciative you putting it in.
As well?
Just record it.
As we speak. He's here.
Oh, that's possible.
Somebody will make it better.
Yeah, I won't tell Steve what you said.
All right, so he'll be getting in, but I'm not sure about the rest, but maybe they can at least watch it. And, are you capable of doing some, like doing some stuff on some math skills?
I am really capable. I'm capable of showing you the configurations for that. I'm not capable of doing the calculations.
Well, in this.
But if you'd like to come up here and join me.
The math guy's not here.
And he can download the software for free and do his math calculations himself.
Do you actually have the software on the show today or not?
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
right
that's
there.
Okay, we'll do that.
It's what's running right now.
Yeah, we are recording it right there, so I just made
I won't
that.
say anything.
Yeah, I've already set my piece, so I'm in trouble.
It is
Well,
smarter than smart.
Smart.
Keep on going, look, sit down there.
I would like to speak to that, how this is better, how this is better than the smartphone. Instead of just having,
Okay, are we ready to go?
we're ready to go.
All right.
Please begin.
All right, I'm Tom Merck. I'm with Full Light Vision. We're the manufacturers of the Quest monitor, along with some other things, but that sales pitch will come at the end of the meeting before you all go. So at any rate, Bo had asked me to come out and do a whiteboard demo a couple of months ago, and I thought, yeah, right. So I knew this was the direction all schools are going to go. We still make whiteboards. You've got a number of issues with interactive whiteboards, even the best of them, even ours. Mostly, you've got a projector that's somewhere in the front of the board. You've got shadows. You've got light bulbs. You've got calibration issues. So those are a big deal. You can see we've got all the lights on. I can't begin to tell you how many rooms I've gone into where they've turned the lights off because the projector was too dim to put the image on the board if you didn't have the lights off. So my experience has been lights off, brains off, paying attention out the window. So here we are, bright room, bright day, bright lights, and that's it. Now, speaking to the monitor itself, technically, it is a commercial-grade monitor that we take apart, and we put our patented infrared touch system inside of it. Then we seal it back up with these guys who wear white lab coats, and it has a 3-year warranty on it. This is tempered glass, so it's going to clean like glass, like with Windex wipes or something, whatever you want to do. You can't go up to a lot of our competitors' monitors and do that because they're using something akin to plexiglass or computer glass, computer screen glass. And they get really annoyed if you do that. So, in fact, Rappahannock Community College has 4 of these and 2 of our 84s. And I was down there about a month ago and asking the guy, I said, well, so how are they doing? I wanted to see the 84s after they put them in. And he said, oh, they're great. He said, the only problem we have is now the teachers have gotten so accustomed to using them, every room they walk into that has a flat screen, they try to touch it and use it. He said, it's causing us kind of a lot of frustration.
do that.
And I said, well, it's okay, I can solve that problem for you. Replace all those with mine. Also, because, so the infrared touch system is around the edges, that means it's not an overlay. It's not something else you're looking for. So that's why our images are brighter. That's why the response time is fast with your, and you can use your fingers. You can use a stylus.
Let me interrupt that. How many of you seen the smart boards or used the smart boards? Did you notice the difference between the speed, the response time? You can, on the smart board, you draw a line and you wait for it to form, right? So that's a huge advantage for us.
That's big stuff.
Yeah. And this is 65, but poets specified as 70. The 84s are ginormous. They're really cool. But the 84s are also 4K, and they're a little bit more money than these. And but they're sweet. Well, we've seen our 84. We have to show up down in Roanoke. So at any rate, that's what we do. A lot of what we're going to be going through now is going to be more software-based. Now, the thing to keep in mind, unlike a smart board which holds you hostage to force you to use their software, whether it works for you or not, whether your teachers know how to use it or not, we don't. Use whatever you want. It's fine with me. I mean, at the end of the day, this is just a great big touchscreen monitor. So there's a lot of free software on the internet that you can mess around with. I was with a bunch of K-12 teachers the other day.
Joplin.
So they were looking at, what could you do? Why would you use
Call. Call.
So there you go. You want to get on the internet, search something out. How many of you use an iPad? Okay. Or some kind of a smartphone? A lot of people that are using, especially iPad users, I've noticed, have no trouble typing vertically. It drove me nuts with the whiteboards, especially because I was always casting a shadow in my arms. But here, it's pretty nice. So if we wanted to just search something here, so we can just come up, do it that fast. Recently, I enrolled in a coaching class for life coaching, and it's very interesting. In the very first chapter, I learned some amazing statistics. Not that this had anything to do with sales or technology, it had to do with life coaching. However, one of the statistics was this. What do you think the retention rate is for students hearing a lecture? What's the percentage?
15%.
5%. Now, this is according to their, so you're close.
We got smarter students down here.
They didn't factor that into the equation, I'm sure. Now, when you get into an interactive situation, the rate of remembrance goes up to 50%. And when you have the students actively engaged in an interactive presentation where they're using the technology and sharing it back, it goes up to 85%. I thought, man, this could have been, I'm glad I signed up for this class. This is cool. So it really pays to not only use the technology, but to know how to use it and to be comfortable with it. And that's hence why I'm here this morning, to convince you that, hey, this is easy to use, it is comfortable, I'm here to help you, And I've been here twice now, and so I'm familiar with the area. I like doing this. I like making you successful in what you're doing. As you can see over here, it's keeping a log of everything we've been doing thus far. So if I wanted to go back to this slide, for instance, I can just jump in there and pick up where I left off.
That's user configurable. It's on a timer so that you can set how frequently you want it
Don't have any touch screens.
to copy the screen and save it for you. And then you can go back later and save the whole thing or any parts of it that you want to. Say you want to redo the same lecture later and have the same resources, you don't have to go do it all from scratch.
Where do you save that, bud?
I'm sorry?
Where do you save it?
When you save it to your
Wherever you
computer.
want
You save it to your, say, a zip drive or something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it can, when it saves it, we're kind of jumping in ahead to the end of the game. That's fine. I don't care. No, there's a number of ways you can do it. You can do just a typical save as, and it will save it to wherever you want. Now remember, this software is called Flowworks. It's on our website. You can download it tomorrow. It's free. Download it on everywhere. Have the people at Walgreens download it. It doesn't matter. It's free. So, if you're making a presentation, and I send that presentation to you, and you open it up, and you have Flowworks, you can open it up on your laptop and edit, and maybe you don't have one of these in your classroom just yet, but you could use your mouse and keyboard and all that. Also, I can export it as a PowerPoint, a PDF, a JPEG, and HTML. So if you're doing blogs for teaching, you want to export it as an HTML, you can do that. I had a fourth grade teacher back in Michigan, and flunking algebra twice, I didn't realize how complicated algebraic equations could be even in fourth grade. So one of the features he liked that I'll show you was he would record with his voice as well as the visual these algebraic equations that were 3 pages long. He would save them, store them, send them to his blog. His students could play them back at night. So he only had to do the equation one time. So it really is, it's there for your use. Some of you will find it more useful than others. But regardless, there are a few things you should know about any presentation you're doing. I've noticed when you get out of the K-12 classroom and you get into teaching adults, typically 5 things are going to be, you're going to use interactive technology for 5 things. First is you're going to use it as a whiteboard. And even in K-12, I would tell you that 80% of those teachers are using this as a whiteboard, or in the case of smartboards, you're just using it as a very expensive projection screen. But whiteboarding, 2 is annotating. 3 is importing images. And these images can be from your computer, they can be from the internet. I'll show you later how they can be from the document cameras of ours that you already have using this. Once people learn about screen recording, that is big number 4, screen recording. And number 5 is teachers like to save and share their stuff.
Can I interrupt just a minute?
Yep.
Okay,
This is an interactive presentation.
Okay, to get back to your question, which I think was what software basically are we using? And he's using Flowworks, which he was describing and has been using. A couple of things about that. It's free. There may be licenses and restrictions on it, so we can put it on anything we want. That's not true for smartphones. You have to pay for every seat, every computer we put it on. Number 2, you're not restricted to using FlowWorks. You can use anything you want on this. In fact, you can use the smartboard software if you wanted to on this. You can use PowerPoint. Anything that you're familiar with, anything you're used to, anything you want to use, you can use it. It's just a big monitor, right, with touch capability. The FlowWorks software has some nifty features, which makes it advantageous to use. But you're not restricted to using it. We can use anything we want to. Okay, so we've got PowerPoint presentations already done that you're used to using on a projector, but you don't have to convert anything. If you wanted to convert it, you can convert it using the FlowWorks software, and you can also run it on top. So you can have both of them going at the same time. So it's very flexible, very flexible.
Okay? Yeah. So, anything you can do on this guy, you're going to do on this guy. And I've just got, I'm using, by the way, I'm using my computer and not your computer simply because of familiarity. I know when stuff is at on mine. I'm not sure where the dead batteries are on yours. That I don't want to embarrass anybody. So, nothing like going in and doing a demo, using the customer's computer to say, oh, let's look at some pictures. And you hit that picture, oh, no, don't show those pictures. So,
I have a question though. When you run the web browser and
Yep.
you have a website you're showing someone,
Yep.
You're not able to do any kind of markup though on top of it, or are you able to? Or you have to be in FlowWorks to do it or something? It's like
When we
trying to
are-
point out something at a website and.
When we are, so here's the core website.
Yeah.
So here's I've got Flow in.
Oh.
Remember, Flow is nothing more than a piece of glass we put over the computer screen.
Okay.
And these two arrows let me go in and out of Flow.
Okay.
It doesn't shut it down. It doesn't close it. It just puts it in neutral and gets it off the screen, if you will. So now, if I want to do this, I'm going to go here and I'm going to have a new screen slide. So put my pens. It's now taking a snapshot of that screen.
Okay.
So now I can say, okay.
It's like you're designing a web page and you're with your web page design class and you're trying to mark up on the screen.
Exactly. So that's the
Okay, so
Flow
you can do
software
that.
right there
That's cool.
that you can download for free.
Can you embed a picture onto that from some other source if you wanted to, like you,
Yep.
Like you're using an existing web page, but I'm going to go ahead and have this section of the web page for pictures, and then
Man, you don't really overthink
so you copy and paste it
task.
right in there, right?
There's smart people here.
I can see that.
That's pretty cool.
Barely one.
I know what I don't
No,
think
but
I
you can do
I
that.
can't superimpose that on another website. Like join two together and cut and paste a picture.
Well, I guess what you're saying, you took a snapshot of the website. So
Right.
You can insert a
Yes.
image of that snapshot screen.
Right.
So
So,
you're trying to like show the class this is where you want to, how you want to design the web page.
right. So for instance,
I'm pretty sure you can do that.
there's my capture
Right.
screen,
Mhm.
but we're just in Flow software.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Really, if you're designing, for that example, if you're designing a website, you could bring up the application that you're designing it in and go through you can step through the whole process because it's just a monitor.
Right.
It's just,
Remember, sometimes,
not just a monitor.
you're right. I mean, it's an interactive monitor.
Yeah.
So really, it's just an extension of your computer. But it's a bigger extension, and it lets you have more people working on it.
You can run.
There's remember, it's also a
Right on it.
6-point touch monitor. So what does that mean to you? Well, when we get to 8-point touch, it means we can have an octopus do this demo. But it means that a couple of people can be writing all at the same time. And they can't change colors. You can't have 4 people writing in different colors. It doesn't work that way. But it means I can have maybe 2 people doing a design program interacting and touching this at the same time. So they won't be fighting each other.
It literally means it's the same.
So that's the annotation part we just went back to, okay? So we show the whiteboarding, we show the annotation. And now, let's get back to my screen. So I can import images a couple of ways. When you come to the tab that says Insert, and Bo has got, and he'll make these available at small processing fee for you, but he has got our Quick Start Guide, which is 5 pages long, shows you all the icons, what they do, how to do it, how to write a lesson plan, and he can make that available to you, right? Small processing fee. Trying to think.
Novelty.
Now, one of the things we have over here, that you have a number of our document cameras on campus. And this is our latest and greatest, our 3900. It's quite similar. In fact, you've got about 9 or 10 of these already. And among the other facets, and they work amazingly a lot like your 700 series, which is now 5 years old. Except that this has HDMI output, it has HDMI input, it has VGA input. It does everything. It slices, it dices, it does potato wedges.
The labs are going to have the 3900s. What he has right here, that's what you're going to have in the lab.
So with the Flow software, we developed this and increased it so that we can, I can touch the visualizer icon. And there's my document camera. And while I can't use the teacher features, I can zoom in and out.
Oh, nice.
And I can scroll up and down the page. And then, once it's there, I can grab a pen. And annotate over that. So that's one way of importing an image. I can import it over my document camera. You can import it over your document camera. It'll be backwards compatible with all of your document cameras. So that means you'll have to put a monitor in all those classrooms to really get the benefit of those older document cameras.
What you've already done so far, Kelly just walked in and see it. Is that saved in that?
Yes, sir.
Well, this is
Yep.
really great. When you do your class,
Yes.
you have it all saved,
So there's...
and you can actually save that and show it to your next class. It's already done.
It's like a smart board.
Yeah.
That's probably your
That's what it is.
it's your competitor.
It is.
I used the smart board for years and years and years at the high school level.
Yeah.
Before I get really too excited, are these going to be in all of our classrooms or select?
Not yet.
Okay, select. Okay, so my bubble just got busted.
Only STEM.
Only STEM.
Oh, do we get them in all our classrooms?
No.
The big
You're gonna have-
screen?
There's going to be in 4 classrooms. I might can work out something with you.
Well, we're in, what we're starting with doesn't mean that we'll end with. We'll definitely plan for, starting in the next year, we'll have more, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We'll start with 4 classrooms.
We could call the governor, I mean, it is an election year, and see if they can give you a check for
There you
coming in
go.
her class.
You can work
The
something out.
Harvest Foundation, the PUP grant.
Harvest.
Pick up the pay screen. Well, do you have to have that board and that particular, you have to have both of those together, correct?
No.
You do not?
No.
Okay.
Really, all you need is this monitor to your computer.
Okay. Is there software?
It's
Free.
It's
Free.
free, okay,
Free,
okay.
you can use anything you
For
want.
a smart board, you have to purchase all that stuff.
You do,
So
yes,
There's our
sir. Yep.
website.
Just
and-
FYI, I've already downloaded that, it's on the network, so we can put it wherever.
Okay, cool.
Just holler that table.
But you can also put it on your home computer.
Can you?
We don't
Students can
hold
put it
you
on that
hostage with a software.
Yeah.
That may or may not work.
So everybody should use it now.
You could even let
Yeah.
the students put on their laptops, and they
Right.
can download the
the presentation.
And put it right on there.
Yeah, because for the smartboard, I have the notebook software at home. I can create the smartboard lessons at home, and then when I go to my class at NCI that has a smartboard in
Right.
it, I'm ready to go.
Right.
So I can plan at home without having the board right there in front of
And you
me.
can do the same thing with this, bring a jump drive
Yeah,
and put it on your computer here,
yeah,
and in you go.
nice.
It's no
What's the
problem.
name of the software?
Ours,
What's the name, what's it called? Flow?
Flow.
Flow.
Flowworks.
Flowworks, okay.
What do you think the file size would be for what you've done so far? Like
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
And you
Who
can't record
cares?
sound,
I
can
mean,
you?
we've got 20 gigs of memory anymore, so who cares what the file size?
Yeah.
When you have 2 gigs of memory, then it could get a little peculiar. It really is minimal, and when we go to save it, it'll tell us how big the file is. But my guess is not much. What I've noticed what eats up the files is if you start recording videos. Because
Okay.
this software will record a video, not as MP4, but as an AVI file.
Oh, yikes.
And API files are not compressed. They use a lot of memory. And, but again, in this day and age of 20 gig computers, who cares? Although I will say all of our new document cameras, all of our little portables that do recording of video, they're all recording on MP4. So,
But it doesn't record audio, does it? I think.
only if you have a microphone into your computer. So you'll see, I'll show you that a little bit later in the presentation. That's okay?
Well, I actually have to go.
You have to go.
I guess
So,
not.
okay, what do you can't wait to see before you go? I'll show you one
I
more
don't even
trick
know
and
what
that's
there
it,
is
then
in
you
the
go.
sheet. I don't, okay, all right.
What do you want, what are you dying to see?
I don't know what there is. I just
Oh,
see-
there you go. Just for you, we'll do the screen recording,
Anything
okay?
chemistry or physics related?
Yeah.
Chemistry
Okay,
or physics, yeah.
all right.
Screen record.
We have this little icon that shows all of our subject tools. And as I was telling you earlier, these are just, it's not a lesson plan, it's just pictures. But it saves you from drawing them if you don't like to draw. So, so the chemistry guy, let's see, so here's our chemistry tab. And when you click on any of these, it'll bring up whatever it's got in its library of images. So, what part of chemistry do you do? I don't even know what these things are. I know what a test tube is. But,
Pull it out so we can see it.
okay.
Big.
That's a big
Do a big
flash.
So there you go. And again, you can grab it up here. I can move it around, I can do whatever. It won't spill.
The liquid.
Yeah, it didn't drip out, we just go
What happens if you turn it all the way up to the side where it's pouring out?
No, we won't do that. And then, I can, but again, I can grab a pen, so if I wanted to make notes, annotate over this thing, have the students come up and identify, you know, what is this blue goo?
This is great.
Can you put a little Bunsen burner up and put a copper coal and have a steel?
Steel,
How to make moonshine, is that what you're saying?
Well, this is class is supposed to teach us how to make it, yeah.
I mean, I know that's the area we're in.
That's pretty
Are
good.
there some atoms?
Have you got molecular structure,
Right.
bonding? I bet there's
Yeah.
something on there with bonding, it's almost a three-dimensional thing, it might be really good for what you're
Yeah.
looking at.
No, but there's probably those things that you can get, bring in yourself.
Yeah, load
From the
them,
internet.
download them, yeah.
Which is why I have that other slide up there for a time.
And don't forget that Flowworks, you can run applications over top of it. So that if you've got software that does great 3D graphic representations of molecular bonds, you can throw that up there and then with Flowworks you can do your annotation over top of it.
And save that in
That'd be
the
good.
presentation.
That'd be great in your organic chemistry class now if you had it.
But but the point is, there's a lot of stuff on the internet for free. And this is a really cute, branding for the kids, but it's a great interactive learning to read program that even teaches music. And it's just to go on and download it, have a good time with it. So it's all free.
Can you click your mouse and like you do like you did, like go through finger and shit, it's all. Maybe.
It doesn't mean I already know all the notebook stuff and already know the
Okay.
smart stuff.
So you gotta go. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
See you.
It's just, you have to learn the ins and outs of this. It's just this thing, so many different cameras. And then you don't know what's going to be charged. You see what frustrates you when you make lessons and then that's not in the classroom that you're teaching. Like, you know, that's another thing.
Yeah, there's nothing better.
Well, that keeps in mind too, like, if the Flowword software is free, so we can put it in, we don't have licenses.
Right, but if you don't have a board, right?
You can still
You
use
can
the
still
software.
use it on your keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, all my stuff I have is on notebook software, and I save it and remote it to my desktop.
What
So,
version do you have of notebook software?
I got the newest from SCI
Newest
version.
10, 11,
It's
12?
11. I think it's 11, I don't know. We just uploaded it.
You will find in the very, very latest smart notebook software, because they're hurting, then they are. I mean, Epson and their competitors have done them no favors.
Right.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
They have put in a stoppage feature. So if you hook up your computer to anything but a smart device, it won't work. It just won't work. Said, please hook up a smart device to help in this notebook software.
Huh.
Now, you pay the money, you pay the $300 for that license. That's taken off.
Yeah.
It's unlocked. I have yet to hit a computer with smart notebook, plug into this, that didn't work. Just
Huh.
saying.
Yeah.
But a lot of schools have not been diligent to upgrade their software either.
Right.
We've
And,
not paid for that.
And a lot of the schools don't care to. And now, with Smart Notebook, even if you buy a smart board or a smart monitor, you get that software for exactly 1 year.
Yeah.
And then, you're going to pay a $300 maintenance fee to keep it the next year.
So y'all software is free, we just have to buy the hardware. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
but you'd have to do that with Smart. They don't give that hardware to you for free
Well, I
either.
know, right, right.
The software was just a means to an end. I mean,
Yeah.
we sold whiteboards as well.
Yeah.
We weren't trying to be the Smart 2 company.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a basic software that, like I said earlier, it lets us do whiteboarding, annotating, import images, screen recording, and save and share your stuff. And you know what? At this level, that's mostly what everybody wants.
Yeah.
And when I talked to them, people have said, I never thought of that one and that one.
Yeah.
Really? So it really is, we've gotten a lot of kudos.
And that's cool too, the document camera, that's really cool too. That's a different kind of
And you
feature.
own a bunch of those.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you own only 30 or 40 of various models.
We just ordered a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
It's gonna be more in a
I'm
week.
going to show you one more thing, and we'll move on. If you do want to do a screen recording, and this gets back to what we asked the question about the microphone, I do have a microphone in my computer, so when we hit the little camera, old-fashioned camera icon, when we hit recording, so now I'm recording. Get a pen, do better. So now I'm recording. Something was opening right in the background. again.
It's never ends class.
No. I actually, I was recording. We'll go again. Okay, now we should be recording, and I'm recording my voice, and I'm recording the picture, and I'll tell you, if you're going to do this and try it, practice, there's nothing worse than trying to think, write, and talk simultaneously. I must have turned my mic off, I can hear it. But anyway.
It normally would, through your voice, wouldn't
Through
it?
my voice.
Yeah. Well,
We don't have microphones in the classroom, so.
okay, but if you had one on your computer in your
Right.
office,
Right.
So,
you could record yourself and upload it for a student
Yes.
who
Keep
was
it.
absent.
Yeah, he did say that these are going to be very large videos
They're all,
because of the formatting. If
That,
you're
that
uploading-
video would be, yes.
Right.
So we don't wanna do that.
It's not a good format for uploading.
Okay.
Or making
Quite honestly,
available
what
to-
would be a better way to do it, and it's how we've, I know it's how a lot of the other community colleges have used our stuff, is they've used the touchscreen monitors in their distance learning classrooms,
Uh-huh.
or they've had a camera of some kind, whether it's that one, or run down to Best Buy and put a small camera on the top and open up Skype.
okay,
And do Skype calls,
right.
which is
Well,
not bad.
let me ask you this. If you have a PowerPoint,
Yeah,
in Notebook, you can upload a PowerPoint to Notebook software. Can you
Okay.
upload a PowerPoint to this software? Do you understand what I'm asking?
why would you want to do that?
I don't know, just something I already have created, and I want to upload it to that software so I can use the interactive stuff with it.
Glad you asked that question. And I did not pay, I don't know who this lady is, I didn't pay her to bring this up. One of the other things we make is a student response system.
I love it.
And they're in my car. I didn't want to take up a lot of time this morning. But unlike Smart Notebook or Turning Technologies or Smart Quick Making News, we embed our software and we are plugging the PowerPoint. So you saw that I opened PowerPoint.
Uh-huh,
So up here it says Q-Click 7, that's us.
okay,
So I can create my test in PowerPoint.
okay.
I can give my test in PowerPoint. I can have all my results in PowerPoint. I can set up all the classes in PowerPoint. Guess what software most teachers know how to use? PowerPoint. 80% of teachers know how to use PowerPoint.
Mhm.
So the sale of our clickers was pretty simple. They didn't have to learn another software.
Yeah, yeah.
But to get back to your question, so I won't embarrass anybody to make you take the test. But I can't ask you that question. Who's a geography major?
Not me.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's nice about PowerPoint is that you can add in a lot of Word documents to it as well. But this is my favorite of why you should know your stuff. So, yeah, I can annotate
Yeah.
my PowerPoint. Again, it's capturing that slide and recording it. It's not recording over my entire PowerPoint. I can do that, but it doesn't do it unless you tell it.
It's two separate. Yeah, okay, that's the way it
Okay?
works.
And,
Can you only do that in PowerPoint if it's in design view, or can you do it
No.
while it's actually
oh yeah,
in
absolutely.
presentation mode?
Sure, of course.
Go ahead and hit you would hit the play
Yep.
button for PowerPoint.
I will.
Now, I take yours.
So no problem. And we can save that to our heart's content. Save here my drawings over here. So no problem.
Can I ask you one more question?
You can ask as many as you want.
If you create something using your software,
Yes.
let's say I create a lesson or
Yes.
activity in your
Yes.
software, can I upload that to Blackboard?
I don't know.
Okay.
We don't make anything that allows you to do that.
You can export it to PDF. He said you can export to PDF.
Right,
You can
you
export
can.
you can export to other formats.
And then send it to, because we use Blackboard
You
for our...
wouldn't want to upload a flow presentation to Blackboard necessarily, but you could export that as something else that the students couldn't, whatever. You could upload it to PDF, so every slide is a page.
Could we export it as a PowerPoint?
You can, right?
Yes.
Did we say
So you can go backwards and forwards,
Yes.
PowerPoint to that,
Yes.
that's, okay.
You can export it as a PowerPoint, a PDF, a JPEG, HTML,
Okay,
and something else.
as long as we can create something and put it on Blackboard, that's how our students see it online, that's what
No
we use.
problem.
Okay.
No problem at all. Not with that.
I won't ask you more questions, I'm sorry, y'all.
No, that's fine. I came down here just for this. Okay. So we've done the whiteboarding, we've done the annotation, we've done the importing images, we did the screen recording. So save and share. As I said, we can export the file as a PowerPoint, PDF, HTML, a doc file, or an image file, which is a JPEG. I can send an email, so I can send this as an HHT attachment. Flow software, its attachment is HHT. And so you can do that. But I can also send as a PDF attachment or a PowerPoint attachment. So why in the world would you want to send it as an HHT? Well, because if we did this presentation and I wanted to send it to you via email, and maybe you don't have one of these, but you can download Flow software, so by file association, you're going to be able to look at it, no problem. You could edit it with your mouse and keyboard, make changes, whatever, and send it back to me. So you've got a free version of a collaboration tool that you can use at no additional charge. If you've got your computers hooked up to an online or a network printer, you can print the whole presentation, which would be a lot of paper, or one slide, if that was what you want to do. Before we get to the file saving, we do have a tools section, and the tools are kind of cool. Some of the more frequently used, we have a clock timer. And I can make it a different kind of a clock. So I want to make it a digital clock, and I wanted to have it count down, and I wanted to have it count down for 5 minutes because maybe you're doing speeches or presentations, lab presentations, and you want to give the students 10 minutes to do it. So you just put that up in the background, and believe me, in 5 minutes it'll be annoying. So you'll see about that. Another curtain is another thing. As colorful, our stuff's all made in China. These guys are beyond colorful people. Why this comes up as battleship gray is really is. I have not figured that out. But I can adjust the color and make it something a bit more seasonal, maybe. And then I can just pull that
I
down.
love it.
Or you can put an image up there.
Yeah.
This is the
We can have a little.
This works just like the QD3900 document cameras have that feature on it also. It works exactly the same. Both of them work exactly the same.
And then to get
Just
out,
like putting a piece of paper on it and moving the paper down.
So, okay, so.
before the overhead fan blows it off, and
Right.
ruins the surprise.
Yeah, that's the shade feature in Notebook. So you're saying, because that's cool to have a problem of, like a word
Yeah.
problem, and I already have it worked out.
Right.
How do you get, so
You
you're
can-
saying
you can
on the
do that on the
computer,
document camera as well.
the document camera will allow you to do
It's
that?
got, it's
Yeah,
got
you
what
just
it's
cover it
called
up.
title
You haven't
function.
watched my video?
Not yet.
Shame on you. Yeah, watch my video and
Okay,
I'll
all
show
right.
you exactly how to do it.
Okay.
The title
Okay.
function, which is one of the teacher features, it captures the top eighth of your screen. So
Uh-huh.
that could be your problem.
Uh-huh.
Then you could use perhaps math manipulatives on the body of it
Uh-huh.
to work out the problem.
Right.
Or Legos.
Yeah.
I've done it with Legos.
Cool. Nice.
So the curtain and all that.
The curtain.
We do have an image capturing device so that it allows you to capture an irregular shape of some other website or wherever you're at, or the whole screen, and paste it into your document. So those are it. But then when we're done, we just want to save this. We can just save it as some other file. And it's always going to save it as today's date.
Oh.
Real clever guys. Now, you can go in just like any other thing
Change it.
and change it. And the keyboard will pop up and say, oh, I bet they want to change it to something more meaningful. And then it's going to save it as an HHT, and it's going to save it lock, stock, and images, and all of that good stuff, and forever and a day. And when you open it up, it'll reopen where you left it off.
Nice. Can you make the digital clock bigger? Does it allow you to drag the corner?
I don't think so.
No, it doesn't. Well, okay.
Hmm.
Oh,
Nope.
okay.
It wasn't meant to be the star of the show.
Right.
It was just meant to be in the bit. You can make it less transparent or
Um,
more transparent.
Isn't there a magnifier feature for that?
I saw that earlier when your pop-up, you had magnify.
But not on the clock itself.
The way you do on the smart board is you have to click on the arrow, not the pen.
Right, no,
It won't
I know
let you,
that.
it won't let you, okay. Okay.
I'm pretty confident about this one.
Okay.
There's a few other things that are dubious, but this one I'm pretty sure. So,
Okay.
but that's it really. The rest, and it's in Bo's document that
Okay.
he gave to you. Pen, the difference in the pens, line thickness, colors, that sort of thing. We have about 8 or 9 different pens, including a highlighting pen. So you can do whatever. You don't have to always use a white slide. You can use a blue-black background, or if you want to go retro, you can use a black background, and it shows up in white. And then you could get an MPEG-3 recording of scratching chalk and play that. So remember what chalk is? You're probably too young to know what chalk is.
No, when I started teaching, that's all they gave me was a grade book, a piece of chalk, and a chalkboard.
One last thing, there's a little hand here. So if you touch that hand,
Yeah.
I can move that over, and then I can keep working.
And if you did that, is all that stuff you moved
Yep.
over still on the same slide?
It's on the same slide. So
It's a really weird
So the
shape
slide
slide.
lets you move it around, and
The slide becomes
Yeah.
too small, yeah.
and then you can,
Your best off.
just play the slide later, you can just move it back and forth.
you better remember what you did on that slide. So there's our timer timing down.
On the clock, there's a size feature.
Yeah.
Put your clock back up there, there's a size feature for it.
Really?
You can make it larger.
Well,
I figured
You
you would be able to
got
do
it.
It's always worth it to come down here and work with you. Where?
I have it on my.
Okay. Well,
We find it. We find it.
watch Bo's video.
Okay, yeah.
Bo's
How
got
big
the
a
newer
clock,
version.
Yeah.
how to tell time.
He's got the newer version.
But yes, it records it as one slide, getting back to whoever asked that question. So you better remember where you started and what you did. But you can go up or down, left or right. It's really CSI-ish.
Because I use the online timer all the time, and it's big enough to where the students can see how much time they have left or whatever, yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
but that, again, make no mistake, all that is the full software. So we were just, in this case, using the board. One last thing I want to talk about is the mount. And this is, again, we've got this mounted on a stand for portability's sake, but the mount is height adjustable.
Nice.
So you've got 16 inches of travel, 16 ounces.
That's large.
So once you mount that on the wall, I can raise and lower it 16 inches, which is kind of nice. I was with before we adjusted the one at trade show the other day, there was a music teacher about this tall, and the thing was set this high, and she was having trouble getting up here. Whereas the next day when she came to the show, she could fold it.
16 inches.
But it goes back to what I'm saying. If this isn't not only easy to use, but comfortable to use, you won't use it.
Yeah.
I mean, you just won't. So if you were 6'2", and this thing was sitting down here, and you had to bend down here,
Yeah.
you're not going to use it. I
So we're
don't
going to
care
have
how
that
cool.
16-inch flexibility
Right.
with the wall mount. Okay.
And you can see, if you want to come back here, you can see that you can see the mount itself, the part that's attached to the stand. But it is really nice. It's not electric. It's a patented spring system. And you just keep loosening the springs, adjusting the tension on it until you get to where you want it. And that's all there is to it. So we have Rappahannock bought one for every monitor. They like that too. And with the 84s, since they're heavier, we got a heavier duty balance box.
How many of the PHCC colleges do you know have these right now? You mentioned 2 already, I know.
I don't know. I don't keep track of them. I'm sorry. Rappahannock is near and dear to my heart because I've been down to Leslie and she beats me.
She's no longer there, but she retired.
I know she retired.
I'm on the tech council with her, and I've been on a tour there. They usually one of the first to put new technology in.
Yep. And she had smart boards in every classroom, so to venture away from the boards to the monitors was a big deal. And they first off started with Mondo pads, and they hated them so much they made the dealer take them out. And that's a big hurt for a dealer to have to take them back and eat it. So that dealer brought me back in, and we demonstrated the 42-inch, and they loved it, so they bought 4 of the 65-inchers, and then this past summer they bought 2 of the 84s, and they like that 84. Also, the monitors, I don't know if you guys do any digital signage on campus, but our monitors also can go in, operate in portrait or landscape mode. So granted, in a classroom, it's typically going to be this way, but the smallest monitor we have is a 55-inch. So if you want to put it portrait in as a menu board or at the Welcome Center or something like that, people tend to like to have that scrolling. You can do that. I didn't realize a lot of my competitors can't do either direction. They can do landscape only. So there you have it. The flow software, the monitor, the stand. Anything else?
Monitor stand warranty for what, 3 years?
That's what
The monitor is warranted for 3 years.
No installation involved?
We're doing it.
But what do you do we
That's
have
the maintenance.
a problem with it, and let's say they don't come on? Is this something that your guys come here to fix it, or we have to ship it off, or what?
I can tell you that I've had 2 units.
Say the power supply fails in it, what would happen? How would we get it fixed?
Typically, we send you a new monitor. We have a road case that we had made for these guys, and we just ship it out. One of the first ones Rappahannock got just didn't work. I mean, they took it out of the box, and didn't work. So they called us, and we had a new one to them in 2 days.
Okay.
They used a
And-
shipping case, that
So-
we sent the new one in, put the old one in, shipped it back to us.
So with the new purchase, we're covered for 3 years? with
3
that
years
kind of
on,
stuff?
yes,
And
sir.
then after that, what does it usually work out to be? Like you get a some-year plan or a year plan or what?
We don't have it. I mean, after,
So we
quite
basically
honestly,
get 3 years out of it.
do you have a flat screen at home?
A what?
A flat screen TV at
Oh,
home?
yeah.
How long you have it?
Well, I've had one for Sony for probably 6 years now.
Anything wrong with it?
Um,
Well, you know, so goes TVs. I mean,
Now,
if
you
they
know-
work after 30 days, you're
Right.
probably not
Do
going
they
to
have like a, how many hours of life, like they rate the
The LEDs?
plasmas?
The
Is
LEDs.
this like a LED?
It is an
Okay,
LED.
so they have like 20 hours.
It's like 100,000
100,000.
half-lives. I mean, it's not like the old plasmas where they had a 20,000 half-life, and you could tell when they were getting to that half-life because it was dim. And that's why, and plasmas were energy hogs as well.
Do we have capabilities of so many hours of, shut off or how
No.
many?
What it has, great feature it has is audio sense for input. If it senses no input for, I think it's 5 minutes, it shuts down.
Okay, so we can time, or we can adjust that
And-
number.
yeah.
You could do like 2 hours or hour or something like that?
Well, no, it doesn't have that capability. It doesn't have the.
Oh,
the
so you're
timer.
saying that if we're having a discussion in your class and over 5 minutes, it's just going to shut off?
No. What I'm saying is if there's no input, so if the computer's turned off, 5 minutes later it's going to go off.
Oh.
Okay, but like if we sit down on like right now,
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
haven't used it 5 minutes, it'll stay on.
Yeah, this is still getting an input.
So you say no input coming in from a computer source, okay.
Right.
So but we don't, well, we can program our computers to shut down, if they are, at night at 10 o'clock, all over campus. So if they shut down, then this thing's still on, it'll shut down in 5 minutes then, correct?
Right. Now,
Eric's
the only
got-
problem will be if somebody leaves the document camera on, because it's going to be getting this video signal from the document camera.
Oh.
If the document cameras have the QD3900s, which will be put in, have a built-in HDMI scaler, so it takes any input that it gets and it upscales it to HDMI, and that's what will be output to the monitor. If that's on, you leave that on, that 5-minute shutdown feature goes away,
Right.
because it's still getting an input signal.
And there's no way we can shut our
Well,
cameras
I'm
off?
going to talk to Tom about the possibility of doing something. We may have a fix for that, or I may have a fix for that, maybe. But we'll have to network the TV for it to work.
We had enough problems with our projectors being left on at night. We're
No, I totally
trying to
understand that.
network those, and I'm just wondering, these,
Well, that's why I
Leave
just
them
shut off
alone
my
all night
computer. I was
long.
going to see how long it took the monitor to say, hey, there's no signal, I'm going to shut myself off.
Right.
Because I know setting one up the other day, I inadvertently turned the monitor on, then ran down to the car to get a box of tools. When I came back up, it had shut itself off.
Oh.
The neat thing about this too is if that feature kicks in, when it senses an input, it turns itself back on.
Oh, it does? Oh, cool. So when you come in the room, this has to be plugged into the wall, correct?
Yeah.
It has to be plugged into a computer and the document camera, correct?
No.
You don't
It doesn't have to have document
No.
No, it does
camera.
not
Just
have
the
to have
computer to that and that to the wall.
Right.
You can plug anything into it.
Okay.
But he
And
can
we
plug
are-
document cameras in.
You see-
You say you're going to plug document cameras
You-
on our setup later.
Right.
Ours
Yes, it
will
is.
all be set up with document cameras,
So,
and the document camera.
Computer will be
used-
off.
Yeah, the computer will be off, but it'll be used to turn the,
But you mainly, when you come in the room,
Turn
turn your
the thing
computer
on.
on, make sure your document camera's on, and then that comes up.
Just like, but see, the thing is, we don't have to have a
No.
LCD projector with these.
No,
That's correct.
So that's gonna save you-
everything. So there, it just turned on.
See, that'll
That's
save you on
everything.
those, but,
So I just
Well-
turned on my computer.
Now
yeah,
it's switched
and
on.
it's turned on. Yeah.
Now, and you're welcome to, I mean, the connections are all on the side here.
Okay.
So you've got two HDMI inputs, you've got a VGA input, you've got the composite video, there's even an S video input.
we don't want them to know about that.
Okay, we don't know about those.
Anything that you want to connect, we want you to connect it to the document.
Chances are,
And use
like
that
you
to
said,
send us signals. And the primary reason for
What
that
you do-
is because
what you
the
do is
HDMI
patch
scaler
it.
built into
It's
it,
working.
so you're gonna get a better quality signal than you would if you loaded right
You don't
here.
work on
Unless you're like an HDMI, native HDMI. It's gonna be,
So don't you want one in your classroom?
I do, in every one of them. I want one in every one of my classrooms.
So we can
What do you
replace our
teach?
projectors
Math.
with these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these are chemistry classrooms?
Well, no, we can schedule anything we want to them.
Well, there you go.
See?
So we can replace all our rooms, we have 50 rooms with projectors and all this stuff.
You get to
replace all these.
We can
Yeah,
make it
take the
go.
projectors out.
Or is it 50?
Right.
Does that sound
I
good
know.
to you?
You know,
But it might be cheaper.
I had a school
Huh?
in Delaware, K-12 school. They built a new middle
Put it in
school,
your room.
and they bought 37 with the mounts, because they liked it. And they were an absolute solid 100% smart district. And they wanted to move away from smart boards just because they had had enough. And they weren't mad, they just wanted the next step up in technology. And they liked everything the monitor could do. So you don't have the light bulb reflective stuff to calibrate. You know, once you calibrate
And you don't have
these,
to worry
they're
about
calibrated.
having, you have bright rooms, doesn't matter.
Right?
How long has this particular technology been available on the market for the?
2 years.
Mm.
but everybody understands that we're not gonna have a roll around mount. These will be hard mounted
But
to the wall.
adjustable.
It's
Right.
still
Behind.
adjustable up and down, that part will work, but they will not be roll around.
Are you gonna take the whiteboards off the wall, or?
No,
There will not be a whiteboard there.
These are new labs.
They've already been designed for these, but for the existing classrooms, we'll have to look at each one individually and see.
Okay. Yeah, because some people will still, and like, sometimes sometimes you might still want a whiteboard.
Yeah.
Just, yeah,
Yes.
okay.
But remember, you can't save anything on it.
That's true, that's true.
Most others have some. I think they
That's
just-
true.
Just
So
say,
they wouldn't have to make
We're not gonna have any whiteboards in the new labs? None at all? So if you want to write anything, it'll have to be on the screen.
You might want to think about, you'd have the same issue if you had a smart board, so that was typically a problem. What you might do is ask that guy over there if you can have a portable whiteboard.
You can get one portable and run around.
They make those
Run
things roll
around.
around.
You know,
Yeah.
I think there's one currently in Mark's office.
that's what I'm saying. We
He's
can-
not
We
using.
can use that.
Something we may look at is getting some mounted
He's wanting to
whiteboards
get
in
it out of
there.
there.
But there's some walls in there that we may get some
You put,
mounted on.
yeah, because the whiteboards are cheap.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, we can do that later.
The ones we got
Don't worry
at
about it
that
right now.
I know you guys are the decision makers, and I don't want to step on turn, but I will tell you one more option, and because of the way your rooms are configured, it's not necessary, but just in future thinking. With all these monitors, there's a panel over here, and you can take this panel off, which is 2 little screws, and we have a computer that slides in. So now, you've got a fully operational monitor with the computer built in. And 5 USB inputs. It's a good computer. It's a dual-core i5 processor and 8 gigs of RAM and all that good stuff.